Okay. Hey folks, today I wanted to share a basic proof that the flying spaghetti monster is not omnipotent or all-powerful. This proof goes all the way back to pre-Socratic philosophy, and we don't know exactly who came up with it first. The version that I'm going to share is credited to Vaughn Pratt. So, let a chew space be a matrix with Boolean entries. Or in other words, a square grid that's got rows and columns. And for each row and each column, there is an intersection called a cell. And since we're working with Boolean values here, each cell is either true or false. Now, one of the immediate basic lemmas about chew spaces is that if we have a column that has all true cells, then there cannot be a row that has all false cells. And to see this, simply consider where the row and the column intersect. The cell where they intersect either has to be true or false. If it's false, then the column isn't all true, but if it's true, then the row isn't all false. With this in mind, let's interpret a chew space as indicating the ability to do something. The rows of a chew space indicate objects, the columns indicate agents, and the intersection, the cell where a row meets a column, is to be interpreted as whether the agent can act on the object. To pick an ancient but satisfying example, let us consider the chew space that records whether a rock can be thrown. The rows will be rocks, the columns will be throwers of rocks, and their intersection will indicate whether or not a rock can be thrown. Then, suppose the flying spaghetti monster is omnipotent. Then they are able to add rows and columns to this chew space without limitation. So perhaps they add a column, and this column will label Avatar of Flying Spaghetti Monster, Champion of Rock Throwing, able to throw any rock without limitation. And of course this will be a column that's all true. And also we'll have a row that is labeled perhaps the rock of the flying spaghetti monster, which no person whatsoever can throw. And this row would be all false. We now have a bit of a contradiction, because if we consider where that row and that column intersect, then we will have to face the question of whether the flying spaghetti monster can create a rock that is unthrowable and then throw it nonetheless. Like I said, this proof is ancient, so hopefully none of its content is surprising, but I think that it's important to share with other Pastafarians. At any rate, that's all I've got. Have a great Friday. I'm going to go find some noodles. Peace.